Okay, so I'm going to be showing my camera's on. Cool. Mic's on. Testing, testing. Sounds good. Good. All right. I'm going to be going through my setup, components, tools, and everything. So, hoping you guys can see my screen here. So, let's go through. Here's my logo. Love it. All right. So, I'm going to bring over this document. And it's got uh, just what I want to go through real quick. So I'm going to start with the tools that I'm using and the ones that I'm going to recommend here and kind of explain why I'm recommending them. So I'm open. What? Uh, I forgot how to use a computer for a second there. Let's move this bar up and okay. So here is Epoch. So this is just to show the reason I'm using the tools I am. So if we look at, I just think this is kind of interesting. Sorry, I'm this by cluster performance OPS settings. Show included plans. So this is just something interesting to think about when you're setting up. Um, there's a few options for the AI that we want to use. The main tools for software development are Claude, Grok, and GPT. And the way that I and NVIDIA, I had a meeting with them this week, the way that they judge tools is based on these benchmark tests. So basically, what these are, if you go to the bottom of the screen here, this is epoch.ai. They have a pretty good explanation of all of the different benchmark tests they're doing. The ones I care about and that we care about for a development, like for the sake of development, is the software engineer bench test, which is Claude 4.1 is crushing um, Claude. It used to be 2 days ago, like literally 2 days ago, Claude were the only people who were above like 45%, but ChatGPT 5 is now uh, at 58%, so versus 63, which is interesting because Claude just removed all of the accounts they had provisioned for anybody at OpenAI. But it's something to keep in mind that they've closed like an enormous gap here. OpenAI has more resources online, and um, they have a lot more developers using that tool. And then the other one I care about for development's sake is Terminal Bench, which Claude is crushing, but again, GPT-5 is somewhere on here. I don't know if they've run GPT-5 on this one yet, but it'll be pretty interesting. Terminal Bench is very important for developing, and we'll see that later as we go through this demo. But so that's something to kind of think about. Grok is not in the same neighborhood as these two for developing. Um, so just something to keep in mind. Also, another thing to keep in mind is they charge a lot more for the current model. So since Claude's old model is so high up here, for Sonnet, which is way cheaper than 4.1 Opus, just something to keep in mind. And then another thing that worries me about Claude, I prefer Claude just because it's got better tools, and we're going to get into what the tools that matter are. But if we're looking here, this is the supercomputers they're building, and the dotted lines are what's going up, what's like in application or being built right now. Memphis has Colossus and Colossus 2, and those are going to be Grok 5 probably when they get built. The chips don't really matter too much. The B200s and the H100s are the top of the line, and the 300s are what OpenAI is going to be building in that when they're thrown up in Texas. But the companies that, sorry, let me cut this from cluster type to, I want to see owner. Yeah. So the owners are, this is OpenAI, OpenAI. Who's this one? This one is Meta. I think Chicago is also Meta. OpenAI, um, Applied. This one is just the state of Louisiana. Oh, it's Meta. Okay. Nebius. Don't know who that is. OpenAI. Um, Applied. Basically, what this is going to tell you is that the future is going to Meta, who's spending a ton of money, OpenAI, who's got some stuff in development now, and then Microsoft in Chicago, and then Grok in Memphis. So basically, the only thing that matters about that to me, and I was talking to the people from NVIDIA about this, is why isn't Anthropic investing in these clusters? And the answer is because they're half owned by Amazon or whatever owned by Amazon, and they're using the AWS network. But notice none of these things that are being built right now, some of them that are here are AWS, but none of the ones going up are AWS. So that's something to keep in mind. It makes me think that OpenAI will win eventually. But Claude is it's fundamentally built for software development. It's like a tool for that. So that's what I've been using now. And I'm pretty sure that OpenAI has kind of been ripping some of the algorithms off of Claude, which is fine. That's what they should be doing. They're open source software. Okay, so that's just kind of a brief overview of what the models are. Let's see. And if you skip that, no worries. I'm gonna go through now. Just a general like concept. I was I went to school to be an engineer, electrical engineering, and I focused on signals and systems. And what you learn in signals and systems is that there's an entire set of mathematics and like calculus differential equations that is just dedicated to what's going in and what's coming out and has nothing to do what's in between those two things. It's just a black box. And that's like a lot of what we know about physics is just black box mathematics, like differential equations. And it's a good way to think about these tools, especially for the models, because they're using like 16th degree tensors. That's not a physical concept. You can't see that. So like I think about these strictly on what I'm putting in versus what I'm getting out. So let me show you guys. I'm going to show you how to set up fully cursor with OpenAI and with Claude, and I'll let that decision go to you. And I'm going to explain to you what all the tools they have are. So this is Cursor. I have the $20 account, and I didn't realize that it was that. So it has unlimited Claude 3.5 or 3.7s on it, which is extremely capable for software. Anything that you need will be there. The only thing I've used the expensive models, the Opus, for is like full restructuring. But this is Cursor. There's two competitors in this space. It's Windsurf and Cursor. Cursor is a little bit more developer friendly, and the way that they have the page structured, I prefer, because I'm more of a VS Code Databricks guy. But they're both just clones of VS Code that use AI. Windsurfer's $5 cheaper. I would recommend Cursor because I think they're both clones of VS Code using Claude 3.5 and 3.7 Sonnet. They don't have their own AIs. They have an AI called Cascade that is 3.5 Sonnet. So that's Cursor. You should do this one. And then, okay, so this is Anthropic's console. And this is where you will create the agent that you call into code, right? And you can't, so if you give them $17 a month, which I do, you still have to buy this separately for both OpenAI and Cursor, and you just got to buy enough tokens. So I have been running this thing a lot, um, and I'm at 19 cents. So it's not that expensive. I'm running it on like a lower model, but I'm not asking it to do very complex things. Um, so just something to think about. Let's see what models have been. Yeah, Claude 4, Haiku. I don't know what I was using Haiku for, but um, that's the page for the APIs. This right here is how to install. Okay, this is a different thing. We'll come back to that one. This is what Claude looks like. I run Claude locally. I can show you the box. Claude invented something called an MCP connection, which I'm going to show you right here. Let's see. Here, file, settings. This is the thing that Claude does better than Claude does two things a lot better than OpenAI as of today. Number one is the MCP connections, which is basically if you're running something that's using AI on your local server, it will make what it's working on available in a format that another AI can read it in a location on your computer without you having to tell it. So it basically connects these applications. This one right here, Figma, is our front end, and this one right here, Windows, is Windows MCP is I wouldn't install this if I were y'all. I've got it running. It can run my whole computer, and it feels like there's a ghost in the room. It kind of freaks me out. I might show you all at the end of the video. But it's cool that they have them, and then they have these extensions. This is going to be the industry standard, and this was like something that was very necessary that Claude built that Anthropic and OpenAI are using. So something to keep in mind. But the Anthropic or OpenAI will have every capability and then some on this soon. So it's just a time frame thing. Okay, here's OpenAI. This is their website. I like the way they do their API pricing, API platform. So when you're thinking about these things for Claude and for Grok and for OpenAI, it's better to just think of it as there's an API, something that requires a token, and then you've got your uh, AI like application. So when I hear, so model is what they have on the big servers. AI, when I say or hear AI, I think of that as the thing that I'm talking to here. So I think of this as the AI. Like Claude is an AI, GPT-5 is an AI. The APIs are something different. Let me log in here so we can look at the API platform. Sora is cool too. That's image generation that I think is going to be. Another cool thing about OpenAI is that they're powering most of the other applications. Claude and OpenAI are. I um, I imagine it'll probably eventually OpenAI will be the standard. They were first, and they have a lot more money in the processing game. Um, let's see. So this is I just logged into the API page. You've got your so see here's MCPs. They're doing remotely at least, and then let's look at models, pricing. The GP5 Mini and Nano are extremely cheap. I did notice that, which cool by these guys. Basically you get your API reference page here. It's about to freak out. Why are you going so slow? Anyways, you get your API key. I'm just gonna close that page. This is the page I was going to anyways. So these are your keys. You create a new secret key and then you can log in, blah blah blah. So that's most of the info for these. The one tool on top of these that I think is the separator is Claude has something called Claude Code, which I'm going to show you guys an example of later. That is really something special. This is the coolest thing. This is what vibe coding is Claude Code. And then OpenAI has Codex, which is the same thing but not as capable yet. But eventually, I think they will close the gap. The Codex is run through GitHub and through Git. Claude Code is run through command line. It's on your local file system, and it is way faster. It only has access to whatever you drop it in, but it is way faster and more capable than Codex. It's the main differentiator, I would say. So I'm going to minimize that now. We'll look at Claude does not have an image generation or audio input, so you have to uh, take that into account if you're trying to do like actual vibe coding. Um, okay, let's look at cool. So let's go back here. So the API is the thing that does tasks for you. You are provisioning server space and then moving things to their model. They're giving you a little spot to run them, and then they're returning you a string or a table or whatever. And then these are your benchmarking tools that I'd like to keep just roughly an idea of what's going on with. Whenever GPT-5 closes on that terminal bench, it's going to be really interesting. I won't switch until they have a Claude Code. But yeah, this is Claude Code. So the API tools. Let's look at the setup, and I'm realizing I don't have my. Oh, here we go. I was gonna say I don't have my taskbar. So I'm just run down the list real quick of the tools I'm gonna go over today. So our core is gonna be Cursor. It's gonna be our logic, our backend, our we're gonna see everything there. And then what I've been doing is connecting to databases through Cursor, which are easier to set up than they used to be. Supabase offers an MCP, which is kind of dope. MongoDB is great. Pinecone is vector only, and Supabase Postgres offers vectors. I haven't tried them yet, and I don't really understand how that whole thing works yet, and if it's better to do that locally or like I don't know if it's better to just run it, turn it into a vector locally, and then model it, and then save the output or what. But Supabase functions really well with Figma, so something to keep in mind. And then Figma, Replete, Base 44, Bench 12. These are all visualization and modeling. There's another one called. See if I can find it real quick. There's another one that I was looking at earlier that looks pretty. It's got a lot of traction. Framer is the other one. That one has a lot of traction online. So let's go to. We'll start with Cursor. So this is my cursor here. I don't even know what this is. I might create a new project here in a second. Let me look at. Yeah, let me do the run through first. So down here we have our terminal. And this is Python, PowerShell, Python. I don't need all these open, but trash a couple of them actually. Okay, that is terminal. Here's our structure over here. You got two other things where my face is down there. I have Claude Code connected to Cursor through an MCP, which is not a necessary thing to do at all, but I like it. You've got your extensions, mics. I got a bunch of extensions on here, debuggers, Docker, containers. First thing you're going to set up when you build this out is going to be container tools and Docker. And then you're going to install Docker Desktop. And I'm going to make a video of me doing that on this computer available. Because it's very important to do that first, because when you start installing all of these applications and stuff, where that is that opening? When you start installing all these applications and stuff, you're going to want to be doing that onto Unix to start with. It's just a better way to do things. Here's MCP connections. So this is what I'm hitting with an MCP right here. I don't know if I have any tokens up there, but okay, no, I got it hidden. All right. Let's see. So now I'm gonna go over here. This is the settings, top right. You got manage account. I got the $20 one. I'm probably gonna bump it up to the $60 one, but they won't let you just give them more money. You have to wait until they tell you you have to either bump it up or go to. Anyways, editor settings, open keyboard shortcuts, import from VS Code. I didn't do any of this stuff. Chat, don't actually kind of useful. Agent on the right. Um, if you got the free version, I think it's Ask, which is not cool. Um, tabs, blah blah. I don't care about that. These are the models. So earlier when I was talking about what an AI versus what a model is, so this box right here on the right is an agent, and an agent is a tool that does a specific task that uses a model. So these are all the models for this agent. This agent has like very clearly defined roles and things to do, and it can be powered by any of these models because it's basically saying this is what I need to fix and how. The higher reasoning ones, right now ChatGPT is 5 is free, so I've been using that one a lot lately. But Claude 4.1 Opus is the best of these. It's expensive as all get out. It's like super. I got like 100 of those queries, I think. You should only use that when you have something that you cannot fix with like 3.5 or 3.7. Your free ones down here, 3.7 Sonnet. The ones with a brain or like reasoning. Grok 4 is one of the free ones somehow because Grok 4 is supposed to be really very, very good at reasoning. It crushed that particular workbench. And it's very good at looking at social media. It's better. So this is your MCP connections right here. I don't have either of these running. I wouldn't worry too much about MCPs until you get to like the need to configure them because I set them all up and it took me a long ass time. It was really hard to do because you have to provision a bunch of things in your firewall because you're hitting your own ports in the back end. And it's just not necessary to do that. HTTP 1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, yeah, that's my general setup here. This is settings. I don't know. I don't really have anything special going on. Back to files. So get your Docker done. When you install Docker, which is not opening for some reason, when you get your Docker set up, so this is the, I don't know, I must not be able to be picked up by the video. I don't know what this is. So once you set Docker up, which I need that to open right now, actually. Let's see if I can open it on my other screen. Docker run command. I don't know what I just did. I've never even seen that before. Docker desktop, please run. I might have something messed up with this Claude instance. I'm gonna close that out real quick. Let's see. Docker desktop. Open the file location. All right, don't do whatever I did to break that. So once you have Docker desktop installed, it's going to say stopped, and it's not going to tell you why it's stopped. And the reason it's stopped is because your virtual environment is not properly set up. And what I would do is go into ChatGPT or your Claude instance and say Docker desktop on Windows stays stopped. And it'll tell you the exact commands. If you're on a laptop without a graphics card, you can overwrite that manually. But if you have a motherboard graphics card setup, you have to reset your BIOS manually, which this will explain how to do. And how you do that on a Windows PC is you go to restart and you click Shift and you hold Shift for a couple seconds and then click Restart. And it'll open you directly into your BIOS. And then you just go in there, you Google what kind of motherboard you have. If it's a laptop, you can run this command right here, these two. And you just need a hypervisor to be allowed. WSL is what'll happen when you get it right is a little penguin will pop up as an icon down here. Um, and then when you have that, go back here and you can ask the agent inside of Cursor to set up your Docker environment, or you can have Claude Code do it. I had Claude Code do it. Let's see where my Docker is. So docker.yaml. This is what ports we're using. I wonder if that's why the MCP was messing up earlier. And then Docker file. I'm either using Ubuntu or that other one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So yeah, that's your Docker setup. Once you have that, you can start pulling everything. And you got to pull a lot of stuff into this to make it work the way that I have mine working, which I would highly recommend because as I'm going to show you in a minute, it's extremely powerful. So where are we at? We have our Docker set up. We have Cursor set up. I would download GPT or Claude. I like Claude more, but also I'm afraid of it a little bit. um, it is absolutely beautiful though. What it can do. I can't find it now. Sometimes it'll like once you do that HP uh, provisioning thing, it will just take over your computer. Um, Sometimes like it'll just run your mouse. I don't love that. Where did I just put that? Okay, right here. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So, and then while you're doing the setup, you just keep popping in here and asking questions. So you see everything I've done here is like all the setup stuff. Um, so we have now our setup. I'm gonna create a folder over here, and I'm gonna call this. I really need to do it in a different project, don't I? Let me see if I can file open folder. Open bullshit. What's in here? So this should take me to a full new space. Okay. Yeah, nice. So I don't have any files over here. So let me see. Okay. 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 My face is messing me up here. I need that little corner down there. Don't care about that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it hello.py. And I'm going to say print hello world exclamation point. Please run that. That's the only line of code we're going to write. You got my word on that. We're not going to do that again. Okay. Did it print? I can't tell if it printed or not. What? Run. Okay, yeah. So we have Python. If you don't have Python, it'll tell you, it'll pop up on your screen. You need to install Python. Install Python. And every time I install a variable into Cursor, I ask the guy over here if it wrote to the environmental path. That's just a good thing to do. Say, is there an environmental variable in my path in all caps that is pointing to Python, is pointing to Docker, is pointing to Ubuntu. Now we're gonna do. Let's try out GPT-5. I'm gonna turn auto off. I'm gonna try GPT-5. Can you create a Docker file for this project? Let's see if I can do that. I'm gonna kind of be testing this one too while we do this. I gotta. All right, so while that works, also you can run like 10 of these at a time too if you want to. So just something to think about. So while that is running, I'm going to show you guys your options on databases. Let's go here. I recommend Supabase for now because I haven't run across anything wrong with it yet, and it's MCP capable. So here's my database. I'm going to look here, see if I can find. Here's the AI agent in here, which is nice. And then I'm gonna pull up API docs. Yep. So, did I show my? Okay. I don't think I've done it here. So, let's see here. I'm gonna look for authentication. I'm gonna go on the other page real quick because I don't want to drop my key on here. My password. I'm gonna look for database written authority. I forget how I did this earlier. Oh, there's a thing in here called GraphQL too that I like. Check my password. Yeah, we'll come back to this in a little bit. Considering the creation process is still running slowly, so let's pull this back up. So yeah, I just created this guy. I got 5 gigs free here, which is nice. And then I'm gonna show you guys Claude code real quick. Wait, I already have that up on somewhere else. So yeah, I have to install Claude code. I should have put into cursor. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna okay, Docker ignore, Docker file, good to go. So that's all set up. So now we're gonna go over here and I'm gonna ask it to run my Python file. And what that's gonna do is in a second it's gonna pull up a box over here that's gonna say terminal. And I'm going to open that terminal, and then I can work in the terminal that the agent is working in, which is really nice to be able to look at. That's also what makes this tool so freaking cool is that it can fix things in line terminal. So just did I not copy it? Control C back into that. Am I? Oh, I'm in Python. Let's go PowerShell. I don't know how I just closed. I don't know how I just opened 2 of these. Okay, here we go. Control V, Control Z. This is taking forever. Claude 4 takes a long time too, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's go get this code. This is the wrong thing. Do I have 2 of these open? Claude code installation guide. Pop this guy. I'm gonna go here. It's gonna process for a little bit. 11 packages pulled over into my directory that I just realized was named what it is. Now I need my token, which is going to be, let's pull this back up. Code, Anthropic. I'm going to go here and see API keys. I'm going to create a key. I'm going to call this for video. I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it somewhere that I'm not going to lose it later. That's super important because you can never get this again. I'm dropping it right here, and then I'm going to go back to my Claude agent and copy this right here. I'm going to put this here. This. Do I need quotes? Check the quotes. No, no quotes. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to drop this here. And this should, what don't you like? Go over here and click run. Open in terminal. That's good. I'm going to try a different model, see if I can go a little faster here. Let's just do auto. Because auto is kind of nice because it'll pick a smaller one almost every time. I'm going to stop that. I need the Unix version of this. I might have to download Bash also. Um, so as soon as we have Claude code installed, we're going to start kind of picking up on everything. It gets a lot faster with that thing. Let's see what this is. This is my Docker image. I'm not going to worry about that. Um, that should have created a Docker YAML though. Um, okay, well that's running. I'm gonna go to a website. Let's see. Sportsdata.io is what we're gonna use. I have an account there right now. Sign in. Remember, we're gonna pull this source. Here. Account developers started API. Let's see. Widgets API. Intro and testing page. I have a pro account on this for like a month, I think. Replay, API free trial, freeze forever. Let's see. So we always need a key. Let's see. Swagger, OpenAI. See if we can key. Okay. Oops. Okay, that key I can't copy out. I'm gonna go back into cursor real quick. See. Yep. So now it's gonna set an environmental variable. Which is what I needed to do there. So let's do. I'm gonna show you guys something after this, but let's try Claude. It should pop up. Nice. Detected a custom API key in your environment. Do you want to use this API key? Yes. Okay. So that should be my Claude setup. So that's my API key that I'm gonna delete, and then I'm gonna. I need to find a way to put that. Let me take this real quick. I'm gonna create a little environmental variable for this. A second ago. Sorry, I need to pull that off of the page. Where did I put that page? Sorry, I'm so I should have done this before, but I wasn't thinking about what the API setup I needed to do was. Let's see. Key. Copy. Call this. Go over this. Sorry about that. So I've got my key hidden from all you. So now we have sportsdata.io. I'm gonna do. Let's see. Pull this back over so we can. Right, I'm off the page. Gonna go to data dictionary here, and I'm gonna do. Let's see, how do we want to do this? So I would like NFL. Let's see if we can get the fantasy play-by-play. Play-by-play is good. Very good. Okay. So let's see. We need. Let's go to dev portal real quick. See if we can pull out our basic. Copy link address. I'm gonna go back now that I have that. I'm gonna do. Let's do. We'll run a Claude code here just for fun. So let's go down. We're typing Claude. We say need an API to this website. Uh, standings. And I want to get every endpoint possible and load into data pandas div frames for future upload to a database. The future database API key is environment variable called sports underscore underscore key. Make sure I got everything here. So this should this is a really, really impressive tool. And this is what I'm gonna be doing to code everything from here on out. I've done probably 10 of these for 19 cents. Let's see. Yes, and don't ask again. I auto run these. They're very good at you'll see kind of what it can do here. But as we start pulling in like libraries and stuff, ooh, that's another good actually example. I'm gonna do that one too. We'll just use this app as a data pool for stuff that I've already set up that I don't have in here. So let's do GitHub. Let's try NFL stats data Python. if you're ever looking for data and you're using Python, also you should all use Python. All of the this is actually worth taking a point here just to show. I don't know if y'all saw earlier on those applications, but every single one of these is going to be using Python. The things that God dang it, I keep API keys. Sorry. All of these are using Python. They're written in Python. Python is the best. Python has tensors. Python is the way. Everything else is great, but it's just going to be you converting somebody else's Python code into some other language, which is easy to do now, but you'd be better off converting your code into Python and using that instead. And that's just the way it is from here until the end of eternity. Python is the way. Um, and we're going to go. Where do we go? Did I? Okay, I'm going to go find another. MCP, GitHub. So let's go to this guy. So this guy is here. We're also going to run another, as soon as Claude comes back to us, we're going to run another API client Pi. I feel like it created that file, right? Yeah. Do whatever you want to. See, so it's you can see there it's pulling in pandas. Oh, it's got a requirements text file there. That's used with the Docker file. There should be a YAML somewhere. I'm sure I'll build one in a second. Okay, so that's there. It's done. And now I'm going to say let's see if I can remember the name of the package. What is it? NFL data. Let's see if we can do this. This is what was so impressive to me. It was number one using the word frolicking there. There's another one that's funny too. I forgot what it was. Um, so let's see. We're 49 minutes into this video. We have got our environment set up for the backend, and processing, so the modeling and stuff. So when we get done with this, I'm going to go ahead and do, when we get these data sets pulled in, I'm going to just show you roughly how to do like a API out, which is basically, I'm just going to copy another file out of my other thing because it's just doing this again, but with the key, and I don't want to show that key because I can't get another one. Go and finish this content. Yes. Um, so it's going to do all this for me. This is vibe coding at its purest form. So I guess once I get these pulls done, I'm going to ask it to, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Where we flow to. Okay. We'll look at, I'm going to show you guys how to input. I need to remember to do that because I already have the API token set up for Anthropic. I'm going to show you guys how to pull a model in, and then like go look at the data sets and whatnot. We need the data for that though. So I'm just going to pick a basic category from this data set. We'll see what the endpoints it gets are. Usually it's pretty good about getting all the endpoints. Sometimes it has a little bit of trouble with like variables that you can feed into it. Yes. See what it does. Sussing. That's the other one. Sussing. Thinking, debating, deliberating, and sussing. So let's see. Do you want to use Claude to fetch this content? You're damn right. And don't ask again. So it failed there. So we're gonna look. Once this gets completed, we're gonna look at. Trying to think of what we need. I'm gonna run a command that'll be set me up a full environment for a machine learning algorithm, and then we're gonna pull in an API to. We'll do ChatGPT 5. And then I'm gonna clip this and ship this. And go get something to eat. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on YouTube, I think. Sorry, I'm just letting this run real quick. I should be doing something while we let this run. Let's do. Ooh, look at. Start looking at the front end while we do this. So this is Figma right here. So let me actually. What would be better is for me to do a new tab here. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm paying for the services I have right now. So GPT is 20. Plus I think it was like 5 for the API key. And then Claude is 17. Plus I think it was 5 for the API key. Let's see. Claude code is included in that. Let's see, cursor is 20. I might go up to 60, but that's just because I didn't know what I was doing with those. Like, just use the standard unless it can't compute it. And you really don't need it with Claude code. Like, that should be your driving guy because it's going to be able to. It's got a lot more capabilities. So let me call this OpenAI, and then Claude, an Anthropic API key, and then you don't need both of those. I think I'm gonna probably stick with Claude for now, just because Claude code is so much better. Once they get so Codex only works through GitHub, and I don't want to have to upload my code into GitHub to pull it back down to have it updated. I'd rather just write it there. So let's see. Yes, and don't ask again. So let's go back here. Let's see. So databases are free right now to 5 gigs, which is more than most of the NFL data on Earth. What else we got? Figma. I think I'm paying for 16, maybe. There's a $3 version that has everything that the one I have is. I just wanted to get the max out one to see what all the capabilities were, like hosting and stuff like that. Um, and then I think that's it, right? Right. Uh, sports data is like $5, I think, but I'm on a free trial. StatHead is like 10. Oh, PFF is another one. Actually, I should pull that while we're here. PFF.com is 10, I think, a month. And then I'm trying to think of what of my other. I feel like I've got more, but I don't know what the subscriptions all are. I got CapCut, which is video editing, but that's not for developing Gling. I spent $200 on Gling. That was a stupid purchase. Let me think. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. I think that's what it costs to dev now. I'll probably think of something as we go. Let's go back over here. See what's going on. Yes. Don't ask me again. See what this guy comes up with. And we're about an hour in. We've done 2 full API calls. This would have taken me 2 hours to code hard code, probably more. And then the NFL data py library, I don't think I could have ever pulled by myself because the components are all mismatched. And this like does like a pretty crazy thing. But let's see. Yeah, well that's running. Let's see. Make sure I'm still recording. I'm just gonna assume that's a yes. Pray to God that's a yes. And then let's see, combobulating stuff. So this gets done. I'm gonna tell it to import libraries. Claude also, like if you go in, I'm gonna start a new project for this just to show you guys something here that I enjoy. It may not be for everybody, but I'm gonna create a new project. I'm gonna say new project, NFL PFF machine learning modeling create what kind of ML models are used for sports analytics, especially prop betting and fantasy weekly lineups for that. Regression model, blah, 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 blah. Let me say I have a project pulling NFL data, comma, say NFL data. What NFL data in Python, and I'm trying to gain insights, trying to use the methods above. What tools should I use? See what that is. So I'm gonna go back here. This basic endpoint, still running this. Oh, that right there is what I was talking about, where it has the mismatched pandas. Like it's like removing packages out of it and then running them. But it's so impressive to me. I didn't know there was an option. Like I feel like some of the projects I've done in my life, I've always run into that issue and just been like, damn, I made it this far. But all right, let's see what it's got. Pandas, Py. Oh, hey, we're already there. NumPy, yeah, scikit-learn. What's he gonna say? Is he gonna say PyTorch or TensorFlow? PyTorch has more control. Plotly. This is, by the way, all of what I'm doing right now could be done. Okay, so it's good. Okay. Can you run both APIs and tell and give me a list of tables and their columns and records. Record counts. So we'll see what that does. And yeah, run it. See what that comes back with. And then we'll go back to this with a list of, God, there's a lot of stuff in pip and stop and then yes. And don't worry about it. Let's go look at PFF over here. So PFF is like the industry standard tool for London. Let's do NFL premium stats. They film this in as they go. Let's see. Let's do by position. I think I pulled all these at some point. Master grades. I do new conversation. I do new chat in here. I don't know if I'm in that project or not. I'll be in that project though. This is a paid site with premium stats. Is there a way to pull this data without manually loading it? I'm gonna try. This is something I'm planning on doing in the future, but I am going to try to. Guess it will see Selenium. It's got a time delay on there. It's one of the few websites left on Earth that isn't double factor authentication, which makes sense because it is so easy to pull like stuff now that I bet these websites are getting overrun by AI agents going to pull. So all the stuff we're doing right now, I should put a note on there on this that all the stuff that we're doing can also be done with an AI agent. Like going and get these data, you can just ask Claude to do it in line. It's just a little more expensive. I like doing it this way just so like we have the data we're working on. Like if I'm asking it to go check the internet, besides like social media and like what's going on conversationally, which I think I might use a Grok extension for because you can get their API. Like the price for a Grok API is the same as the other two, but you don't have to pay for a premium membership, so that's kind of nice. Um, so we'll see what this guy comes up with here. Um, let's see, so we're at an hour 5. We got everything laid out. Okay. While this is running, I'm going to pull up Figma to show you guys what this is. So we'll do a new project. Let's go back to home. Let's do, what is it? All projects, new project. Um, Step 1, create project. Okay, so I'm gonna do. So I think in here, it's the UI on this thing is confusing as shit. Um, so I would like a good God. What are we looking at? This website throws me for freaking loops, man. Figma make. There we go. So Figma make. We're gonna Figma make something in here, and we're gonna go. Let's check this bitch out. Let's see what's going on with the ASCII model viewer. That looks pretty cool. I wonder if that's supposed to load some kind of thing. Let's see what we got here. AI 8 digital. We got Gemini Meta AI model performance. Ooh, we're doing an epoch life cycle. Let's see, gradient shader card. That's just a. So we're looking for a website. There's a way to look for the types here. So web site. Here it is. Okay. So the way these things work is they're like design cards like this, which are cool. Um, but they like they team set up these big ass pages, right? And then on those big ass pages, you can pull out like things and then make them cards into a website or whatever. Which is nice because then you have your design people. I think this app is a little bit more for design people than it is for developers. But let's go look at this. It's pretty cool. Like the layout. We're looking for like a site though. I don't like these. The blue things are not. Um, Let me see if I find this. All products. Figma design. Prototype. Prototype. Is this? I forget the layout. One of these is like a full website that you don't have to mess around with at all. Like portfolio resume. Okay. So simple complex structures. So if we want one that has all of the like functionality built in. So it's like a. Is it a Fig Jam? No, Fig Jam is the flow. Slide, sites, buzz, make, sites. Figma sites, I think that's it. Yeah, here we go. This is us. So ones I've used before. So they're not really picky about like what you can do with them. So this whole thing is. Let me find a good one here. Um, let's try. Let's go in the old. Let me double check this. Okay. Get your computer stuff. So what do we got here? We've got NFL Pie, Teams Off, Center. Yeah. I'm gonna go look at this script. Let's see if we can find it. Test API, test NFL Pi. So it should be NFL data Pi client. Let's go look at this bitch. Let me see if we got a year here. Current year 2020. Okay. I'm trying to think. Do we want to do this? Look at all of this, man. 4 months ago. All right. Let's take this. We'll take this real quick. I'm just curious. I haven't tried this yet. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna go over here to this guy. We say data sets. See if it gives me any recommendations here. Let's see, rolling averages, season to date averages, trends. So let's go back in there. Let's look here. Master data, prop betting, fantasy lineups. What is this? Let's retake this. Wait, just wait till it loads the download. Okay. I'm gonna go back and say I would like to do all of this. This is text for 2 lines. I want to import these comments so I can see this. See what I can do with that. All right. Well, that's going on. Let's go see what our options are here. Oh, I want to go to the internet. So I don't really understand how Figma's layout and setup works. So let's go to here. Figma templates, cyberpunk website. It's kind of cool. Stats though. Ooh, that's sick. Let's see here. Nah, it's not it. Oh, these cost money. I didn't realize that. Let's try something real quick. I'm just gonna look at something. So there's a plugin, MCP plugin, where you can run this and then it's called HTML2 something, HTML2 design, and you can copy those and drop them in. This is my existing one right here that I couldn't fucking log into for like an hour earlier. It like built it up to where I couldn't even just launch the demo. Come on. So I'm going in here. So I'm just gonna shoot. Are you kidding me? Bro, for real? God damn it. Okay, Figma. Figma is just it's about as user friendly. It's like a rattlesnake sometimes, man. I don't even know what's going on. It's not my best typing. Let's see what we got. Yo, let's see it. Uh, see what that does. While that runs, we'll go look over here. Framework production is ready. Cool. So yeah, the thing I'm the least confident about right now is definitely the front end, but um, I think everybody's kind of we're an hour and 20 minutes into this, so I feel like I'm getting a little probably losing some steam here. I need to. I gotta remember to pull into one of those APIs. Shit, I forgot about that. I also need to go erase that token. Hmm. I busted out on my rate. 30,000 per minute. Let's go look at the these rate limits. That's no good. 30,000 per minute. Damn, bro, I busted out. I spent $3. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that was just that last query. I don't know. Models are pretty high, I guess. Oh, it's running Sonnet 4 too. Damn. All right, there you have it, folks. You can create. Let's see what we finished here. Summary report. That's cool. Run with API, simple text, performance ML. Oh, it's still run. Cool. See what it does. So anyways, I think it's probably good for today. The APIs are pretty basic. You can go to here and models and API keys and upload them, and then it will do it all for you. So just one option. I have that open. See what this gets to here. We'll hang out and see what the output is here. Figma, let's see if it lets me in my website real fast that I created. Okay, so it just brought me in here. So this is kind of what I got. I did this from like a brochure of some kind, and I was just like, I kind of like that color scheme. But yeah, so I got to figure out. You can like turn this into code pretty easily, right here, and it's got like a full structure and stuff. But then you got to have like a back end to it that I think I'm gonna use Stripe for the financial stuff. But um, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I think, yeah, I think with what we have here, you could probably build anything you wanted to in the world. So, um, happy hunting. Let's see if this is. It's not having fun with that. Anyways, damn, it's a big query. Thanks. Hold up. We need to look at something real quick. And then pull up a task manager and see what we're popping on the graphics card here. Ooh, that's quite the query. Nice. Um, so yeah. I'm gonna save this. I'll upload it. I gotta go delete that token before I upload it tonight. But if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm gonna try to put some kind of production quality on this thing. We'll see what CapCut can do. But I think that's plenty of information for tonight. If there are any problems with anything. Oh, also when this gets done, is this still? Oh, this is still running. Oh wait. It's asking me a question. I don't know what it wants. Yes, it's doing something in the background. We'll see. I don't know. So apparently, machine learning is You're considerably more expensive because I was at 19 cents and I've been doing this all day. Hey, this looks pretty good. What we got here? Model accuracy. So apparently tables are kind of hard. Anyways, you could take this, you can publish this into um, Figma, or you can publish this into Cursor, and then you just need to start plugging in your values. I got to figure out what the visualization is on these tables, though, because that seems like it's not very fun to do, because nobody wants to do it for free very quickly. But if that's a little paid service or something, what is going on here? Okay, I'm kind of curious to see what it comes up with. This is fun. Um, yeah, obviously, I feel like some input on what those models should be doing and stuff is probably helpful. And looking at the data before you run that shit is probably also a good idea. But we go again. All right, so let's see what else we got. All right, this is my logo. Love that. Um, we got a few other ones here. Let's see if we can go to the Google Drive real quick. Trying to just show off my social security number or anything. Let's see. What we got? Yeah. Yeah. There we go. That's the one. Spicy vibing. Vibe coding. Um, you gotta love it. I'm gonna download that one. That's gonna be the thumbnail of this video for sure. Um, okay, so just to review everything we went over here. Cursor, Figma, GPT or Claude. Claude is better at coding. Claude Code is the shit. If you need like visualizations and stuff, I think GPT is like way better. Like Claude will not make pictures or anything, but yeah, I think that's what's going on here? Cancel, escape. I don't know what I did. Okay. Um. So. Oh, it generated 6 pictures. Nice. 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 Actual fantasy points. What? So these are useless, but oh, there we go. There's your random forest. 0.87. Whatever that means. I know a guy in Minnesota who's going to be very happy about that random forest. Okay, I'm going to call it. That's Claude Code. This is vibe coding. Also, vibe coding means you don't look at your code at any point and you always just do all of your prompts by speaking. The way that we did this today with Claude Code was a little more expensive. Normally, what I would do is run this auto agent. I'd run like 3 of those, trying to build out these files. We got to create a README. Please organize and write a README. Oh, weekly trends. That's probably fun. There we go. I like that. I like that right there. And that's average fantasy points by week. Look at that. Week 8. Tough week. It's been a bye week for the Chiefs and the Bengals. That's my guess. I'm also noticing that none of these are done by year, so that's probably a problem with the data coming in. But anyways, to connect, you need the token or the password for the database, and you just drop it into that thing on the right, and it'll do it for you. I'm going to show you guys just real quick my other folder. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to break this. While it's running. And yeah, except that it's on. Oh, that's what it means. So if you press Shift and Tab, it'll just run. Okay, cool. So thanks, guys. If anybody has any better ideas for a front end development for this kind of thing, please let me know. I don't like Figma. And I definitely don't think it's worth $60 billion. It's like a really nice, like, visualization tool, but $60 billion for that is a little high. So let's see. All right. Thanks, y'all. I'm going to call it. Wait, I need to pull the thing up first. Da 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 da.